hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ammahad Shakaraki, and on Street Talk we deal with political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now joining me tonight,
Charles Thomas.
We got a lot to cover, but the first thing we want to do is tell the people on October 9 this year, we're having a rally at the Capitol. We'll be talking about reparation and Malcolm X. And the thing about reparation is that lots of our people just don't know about reparation. And Malcolm, lots of them don't know anything about Malcolm. Malcolm's father brought him here 14 months old, and they still don't know that Lansing is his home, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he left here when he was 15 and a half years old, but Lansing is his home, and he was married here.
Right. Yeah, and his father was with the Marcus Garvey movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was like a lieutenant or something
Mm-hmm.
with the Marcus Garvey movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very historical family. And I knew his brother down in Detroit,
Okay.
Filbert.
Okay.
Yeah, he had the same demeanor as Malcolm.
Okay. And right now, it's changing. It's been changing for the last, I would say, 15, 20 years. But we back all the way back up until, 35, 40 years ago. Not everybody, but a lot of people want to say, when you say Martin Luther King, oh, yes. But Malcolm, oh, no, he was,
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that was?
Well, they listened to the propaganda that white people and the black churches were putting out.
Okay.
The black churches labeled him as a troublemaker.
Okay.
They didn't support him until after he had, got assassinated, and then, they killed him, hit the body, died.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the Malcolm and they were very close.
Okay.
And he started talking, Martin Luther King started talking about economics.
Okay.
And that's when the Great Division came in. Because as long as he was, talking about a dream,
Mm-hmm.
he was all right.
Yeah.
But when he started talking about economics and bringing the men back from Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
that's when he ran into the J. Edgar Hoovers and people of that level.
And right today, the things that Malcolm and Martin was talking about, it's happening right now.
Yeah. And And it's happening right now, and it's going to continue to happen. And until we, as a community, study the behavior of those great leaders that we had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't live in fear all of your life.
No.
Until you stand up for what's right and stand up for truth. You know, because to me, time produced those great leaders that we had in our community.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't pop up for no reason at all.
Right.
It was a blessing
Mm-hmm.
to be alive during the time
Mm-hmm.
that they lived, and we were a witness
Mm-hmm.
to what they were saying.
Yep.
And we lived it.
Yeah.
But to let it drop off like we have let it drop off as a people,
Mm-hmm.
we paying the price for that ignorance
Oh yeah.
as a community.
Yes.
Because we should have stood up behind those men and supported them
Mm-hmm.
100%,
Yes.
and instead of putting them down.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
and Malcolm made a comment that you will not get reparations by taking reparation issues to the Senate and the House.
Mm-hmm.
You need a world stage
Right.
to take those issues to,
Mm-hmm.
a global
Mhm.
court,
Mm-hmm.
because these slave masters ain't gonna give us
Oh
nothing.
no.
And Dr. Lee Taylor was explaining those issues, how they ran the highways and freeways
yeah.
through the black community just to upset the black businesses in our community.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she lived it, and she knows, and she felt the residual backlash of those issues in those times.
Yeah.
You know? And we were there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and black people were on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it somehow in the last 30 years, I would say 30 years, but it's been more than 30 years. I would say it's been 40 years now, because we had 221. I would say it's been 40 years since we, our people, have simply got on the wrong track. I'd say that wrong track. I'll just put it like that. And you know, when I was coming up, you know, I was young and everything. The ministers helped the neighborhoods to keep in pace. I put it in pace, you know, and everything else. The ministers, the deacons, and the sisters, and all of these people kept that neighborhood, you know, growing and everything.
Right. It was a village.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've seen that disappear in the last 35, 40 years.
Right, yeah. Because I remember when I was a child, you know, everybody was poor.
Yeah.
We had big fun.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We didn't know. I mean, we didn't know what it was, but we enjoyed one another.
Hey.
I can go to Mrs. Smith's house, my mama was senior, borrow a cup of sugar and flour.
Yes.
You know, now you come to the door, ask for some stuff
man.
like that.
Man,
You
you
know
know
what they do.
And the thing is that our people, man, our people that has gotten, and I said this last on another show, but seem like our people hostile with each other when they're dealing with each other, but white somebody, they skinning and grinning. You know?
Yeah. A white person come in the room, they change the whole dynamic of the room. Yeah. But that goes back to the conditioning, post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Okay.
We don't realize how it affected us, and we pass it down from generation to generation. And it's so bad that we talk about the Bible, but we don't believe in the Bible.
Okay.
And when you read the Bible, you see a pattern,
Okay.
or a sequence of events that happen, you know, continuously. But when you read a story about Moses and how he dealt with Pharaoh,
Okay.
and it also tells you in Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, that the children of Israel were going to go into Egypt a second time.
Okay.
The second time by ship.
Okay.
Nobody fits that bill but us African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So, and God personally gave Moses the law to live
Okay.
by.
Okay.
So if Moses was successful by using the law to overcome Pharaoh, and you got these black preachers teaching you not the law, but they teaching you a religion
Mm-hmm.
of an image of another man.
Yep. Yep.
And that's supposed to save you.
Yeah.
When Moses specifically said, you use this covenant like I told you to use this covenant, and I'll fight your battles for you.
Okay.
I'll make you successful.
Mm-hmm.
Them preachers don't talk, but they talk more about religion
Mm-hmm.
and a cross and an image of a white
Yep.
man. That
Yep.
ain't gonna help us.
You know, that's hitting it right on the head, man. Because when we first got here, well, when the second time we got here, which was 1600 and something, we got here. That was the second time, because we had already, some of us had already been here before,
Mm-hmm.
and we had, I won't say religion, but we had a covenant
Yeah, covenant.
that all the African people knew about and everything,
Yeah.
and they practice,
Yeah, spirituality.
yeah.
Yeah.
But when we got here, the man with his gun and whip,
Yeah.
he changed your way of thinking about a religion,
Yeah.
and that's where we at now, man.
Right. And we won't let it go.
No, oh no.
And the reason that there's no unity in our community is because we got too many churches, and all those churches, they can't get together. So how do you expect the community to get together when the leadership can't consolidate? We have to look out for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We need economics.
Mm-hmm.
We need to establish credit unions, create jobs in our
Mhm.
community,
Mhm.
get our children into colleges and universities
Yep.
and skills, and develop our communities just like they did in Black Wall Street.
Mhm.
Black Wall Street was a model city
Mhm.
in America.
Yep.
It was so smooth running that the federal government came and destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
These wasn't those little Rudy Poot people.
Right.
They came and bombed it with
Mhm.
airplanes.
Yeah.
And the money that was used to start Wall Street, it came from the Indian nation.
Mm-hmm.
They got paid reparations, and that's
Yeah.
initially that's where the seed money came to start
Mhm.
Wall Street, and the Trail of Tears.
Mm-hmm.
Slaves walked out of
Yeah.
the Jim Crow
Yeah.
arena.
Yeah.
and they established that.
You know, and it's 44 million of us in the U.S. You would think after 400 years, of slave for 200 and some years, Jim Crow for another 100 years, but you would think we would have learned something out of that to say, well, now we got it,
Yeah, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's tough because I can remember when I was ignorant and worshiping the white image of God too.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough to go to Africa,
Okay.
Which is to Ghana, our sister city from Lansing.
Okay.
A delegation of us, Barbara Roger Mason, and the Canes,
Okay.
and Bill Stewart. and
Okay.
we all went to Ghana,
Okay.
and we went to the dungeon, the slave
Okay.
dungeon,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
We walked down to had a guide and everything, and when the guide told us that there was a Baptist church right
Okay.
above the slave dungeons,
Yeah.
that rocked my world, man.
I know it did.
And I was just through.
Yeah.
And I said, that's why they had to nail Jesus to the cross, because he wouldn't,
Yeah.
They could have tied him there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because he didn't want to get on that cross, because the cross was that symbol of Christianity, that religion from the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to nail him to it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my thinking.
Right.
Because, and they have never apologized
Oh, no. No.
for killing a prophet of God.
No. No.
As long as I've been on this earth, I've never heard a white person in a white church saying that I'm sorry that we killed a prophet.
Oh, no. No. You ain't going to hear.
Yeah.
No.
But they boast like they meant to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they do it again.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, man, that I, a few years ago, I would hit some of my friends with, is that on Sundays, this is the most segregated country it is on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if whites, black, and all the rest of them supposed to be serving the same Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it don't mean the Jews have the Sabbath day.
Yeah.
Okay, now we know that these Christians are pagans.
Mm-hmm.
They worship the sun god. So
Right.
naturally, Sunday would be the day that they would have their religious pagan services on. So that's why they created Sunday.
Yeah.
Because they worship in the sun god.
Yeah.
It's part of their pagan ritual.
Yeah.
But Jewish people, so-called Jews,
Mm-hmm.
they have the Sabbath day on Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all messed up because of religion.
Yeah.
Religion has divided the world so much out throughout history.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it is not a cost-effective system. The only people that benefit it is the people that are on the top.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And white people believe the lie more so than we do.
Oh, yeah.
Because they think that they're special because of that white image
Mm-hmm.
that they painted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I can remember, man, growing up, and these, I'm from a little small town in Mississippi. Here, these little kids, I'm little, I'm young, growing up. They were maybe poorer than I were, and I know we were poor.
Mm-hmm.
But still, they thought they was more than us.
Yeah.
I mean, it just somehow baffled me.
Yeah. And it's true today. That hasn't changed.
No.
Yeah, the poorest white man think that he's better than the richest black man.
And in fact, I remember. This is back, when I was young teenager, and before I could even vote or anything like that. And I'd see these white people, and this is dead winter time, and December, January, February, the kids would actually have their foot wrapped because they didn't have shoes.
Yeah.
And still, these whites would go out and vote for the other side because the man would say, "I'm gonna help y'all," I'm gonna help y'all. And the one come in and said, "I'm gonna help all of y'all."
Didn't get nothing.
No,
Yeah.
no, can't get no.
Yeah. It's a game, man.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
And the thing is that back to Malcolm and Dr. King, they both of them had that knowledge and where back to what you were saying about they somehow they had that knowledge then, and right now we're going through some of the things that they said 50 years ago.
Yeah. Because we haven't made the effort to follow up what they wanted. Economics.
That's it.
Economics.
Yeah.
It goes all the way back to Marcus Garvey, Booker T.
Yep.
E.B. Du Bois.
Yep. Yep.
All they took, even Elijah Muhammad. I was in the program with Elijah Muhammad. Do for self. I didn't get into following Elijah Muhammad because of Islam.
Right.
I seen the thing about doing for self because we as a people at the time we weren't doing for ourselves.
No.
So that's what attracted me to Elijah Muhammad. And after Elijah Muhammad passed, then his son stepped up to the plate, and he started expressing the Quran, and all of them use, all religions use Abraham, they use Moses,
Yep.
and they use Elijah, they use Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, all those were people of color.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they don't teach that in in the black churches.
Oh no.
Like, if black kids knew the black history that was in the Old Testament, they would get excited about it.
Yeah.
All the prophets were married to women of color. Even Hagar, she was a slave and had a baby by Abraham.
Yeah.
But before Abraham was called Abraham, he was called Abram. And the Creator added Ham to his name because of his son, Ham. That's where the society of black people started coming in, the Canaans and the Moabites. So black people, the Queen of Sheba.
Yep.
Solomon had a son.
Yep.
These are things that black children need to know.
Yeah.
You don't let somebody else tell you what is in your history, and then they take your history and put Christianity on it.
Yeah.
But they still using black Hebrew history to create a religion for themselves. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Take your history back.
Yeah.
Your black history is your history. Don't let another man take your identity.
Right. But see, the thing is that we won't do it. We just won't do it,
No. Fear. The conditioning.
Yeah.
The hanging, the lynching, the terrorists.
Yeah.
We are in a bad relationship between white people and black people. It's unfair.
Yeah.
And white people have been unfair to everybody they come.
Oh, yeah.
They have a conquering nature. They got to be on the top.
Right.
Just like Pharaoh.
Yeah.
He had to be, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
That's what white people are saying. White people are saying that I'm God.
Right.
And if you can't see the parallel story between the Pharaoh back then and the Pharaoh now, you need to put the Bible, throw it out the window.
Right. Right. And I was looking at the last 3 or 4 days. They was, I get the USA Today, and they was talking about the black women still make up, I think, 0.4% of the women's at the top. The executives at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
we got some smart black women.
Yeah. That's like Dr. Taylor told us, like her mind was snapped to every white man's neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our black women, they are so beautiful, and they've been so mistreated.
Yeah.
And we have disrespected them so bad.
Yes.
That they have taken on a macho attitude. It's hard to talk to a black woman now without that attitude.
Right.
But that's our fault because we failed them as black men.
Yes.
We use them as a sperm bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's everything that's happened to us in our community, we brought it on ourselves by neglecting our obligation.
Yeah. Yeah. And
you can't blame white folks because white folks ain't gonna fix it.
Oh, no.
They don't know how to fix it.
Right.
And since we created it, it's something that we got to do and stop passing the buck.
Yeah.
Be more responsible.
And see, the thing is that if they knew how, they wouldn't. I mean, why would they fix something when they're up here and you got to come begging to them for everything?
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, who?
And we know how much they love money.
Right.
And it's over $1 trillion a year that come out of our black community that goes straight into their community.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the Bible it says, will a man rob God? The black churches are robbing the black community.
Yes.
When they take your tithe and offering and put it in Fifth Third Bank or Case Bank and all these other banks, you have to have a storehouse. And God will bless your storehouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forget if you tithing and you ain't got a storehouse, you wasting God's time. He can't bless it. He can't increase it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
so they're robbing us blind.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, our ministers, man. You would think our, you know, some of our ministers, you know, hate to write them off, but you know, they ain't gonna do what need to be done. But I hate to say it, and I don't hear many ministers now. I come into some reading of some of them or something like that. I hear somebody, but most of our ministers now are just in that same, in that thing where the members got to pay them so much, and I hate to say it, man. It's a minister here in this city. You know, he's thinking about retiring, but he said he may go another year. I mean, it's like, it sounds like he's just making the money.
Yeah, it's all about money.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
but we put up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been conditioned. We are a people of like a sheep mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the slave master wrote in the Bible, in the New Testament, you know, that pray for those that despitefully use you, or turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
You know, or you get yours when you die.
Yeah.
Black people, you don't get yours now. You wait till you die. Then your God will bless you.
Yeah.
But that's the conditioning that my mother was taught, and they're still teaching it. And you have to ask yourself, why do they need so many teachers? I mean, so many churches in the black community when the population of the black community is not that large?
Right.
We only need about 3 nice-sized churches.
That's all.
To accommodate all the black people that go to church.
Yeah. You know.
But these preachers are so controlling that my members are my members. They're mine.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Forget Jesus. These are my members.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Like he's the controlling or the person that's holding the community back.
Yeah.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.